Well, early childhood education has always been at the crossroads of different politics, gender politics, labor market politics, educational politics. And I think the main challenge is that the educational politics, or at least the social educational politics, have historically been less valued compared to other types of education, like primary school education, secondary school education. And the big challenge today is that early childhood education tries to legitimize itself in comparison to other parts of education by stressing the economic and the labor market, because that is more high on the agenda. And the big challenge, I think, is to value early childhood education beyond these economic values, but also for what it brings to society on the level of education, on the level of democracy, on the level of the social values that have a value in themselves beyond the econometric paradigm. I think that is the main challenge for the next 10 years, is to value early childhood education, not for what it produces later on, but for what it is today. How can we overcome that challenge? That is a very difficult question. I think if I would know the answer, I would go for the Nobel Prize rather than sitting here. But at least it is something I think educationalists, pedagogues, should go into dialogue with those who are concerned by early childhood education, that are the families. And in our societies of today, there are more and more very diverse families. And I think that it is in a dialogue with these families that we can construct the meaning of early childhood education, what it means for children, what it means for parents today. So not what it will produce later on, but what it means today. I think the answer to that question can only be a dialogical issue. So it is in the dialogue with the families that we construct a meaning every day. And how can we make that kind of dialogue? It's by documenting what we do. It's by documenting what we do with children and what children do with us, and discuss that documentation in local communities. And I think it's really very much a bottom-up experience that we need. And then, of course, we need to involve policymakers in that dialogue. And I think that we are probably all a little bit trapped in that economic discourse. Policymakers also feel that they can only value economic things. So we have to give them the arguments. We have to give them the language to speak that other language, to construct a common language that is about education and about social inclusion. So how to overcome that challenge? There is not a panacea, there is not a simple solution. I think it is really very much a local experience that we build with local communities.